Morning, Sherry.
The time is now 9 a.m. We will start the meeting for the City of Statesboro Mayor and City Council. The date is December the 7th, 2021. We will have our invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Phil Boyer.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be doing this from Athens today, as I'm going to be spending the next 3 days reviewing the state's municipal curriculum with Municipal Training Board. So I appreciate appreciate the fact that we have this opportunity to do this remotely. So if we could all bow our heads. Dear Lord, thank you all for letting us be here today to serve the city of Statesboro, and thank you for giving us this technology that allows people to join the meeting, whether it's someone like myself who is part of the council, or whether it's our public who just can't get to the meeting and wants to be part of the conversation. Be with us today as we make our decisions. Help them to be wise, help them to be thoughtful, help them to be empathetic, always with the best intentions in mind, and always with our citizens in our heart. Be with us today, be with us through this holiday season, and keep us safe as everyone starts to return home to see family and loved ones. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move down to agenda item 3, which is public comments. Leah, are there any public comments?
No, Mayor.
We'll move down to agenda item 4, which is consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda. Item A, approval of minutes for our November the 16th, 2021 work session, as well as the 16th council meeting. Section B is a consideration of a motion for approval of surplus and disposition of a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500 and a 2001 Ford F450 in the Public Works and Engineering Department. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll move down to agenda item 5, which is a public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve application for an alcohol license in accordance with the City of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance, Section 6-13A. Statesboro Entertainment Concepts, LLC, DBA, Fifth Quarter Bar and Grill, license type bar and bar with quick kitchen, 67 Galler Drive, Statesboro, Georgia, 30458. Owner, Jared Miller Mitchell Jordan. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Kathy, are there any issues with this application?
No issue, sir.
All right, Chief Graham?
No issue.
Okay, Chief Broadhead?
No issues,
All right, Kane Smith?
No issues, Mayor.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak for the request? As you approach the mic, please state your name.
My name is Gerard Miller.
Okay.
I'm actually one of the owners. We actually are based out in Athens, Georgia, currently. I was born and raised in the area. I was actually born in Savannah, raised in Effingham, and went to UGA for full ride music scholarship. And I've been in the bar business now for about 15 years in Athens, and been a part of 3 separate companies. The one that I'm with now, I'm now the Chief Operating Officer. And we've been looking for businesses in other markets outside of Athens to be able to grow the economy and also to spearhead our business interests. And me being from the area, literally 30 minutes away from my parents, I saw it as an opportunity to come back and give something back after I've, gotten my education down here and really went to UGA to better myself. And as anybody from this area knows, there's always been what seems as though the best and brightest seem to move away and never really come back. So me getting an opportunity to come back, and my first opportunity as an owner, because right now I'm Chief Operating Officer, I'd like to be able to bring something to Statesboro that's going to be responsible, that's going to better the lives of not only the students, but the city of Statesboro as a whole. We've done a great job in Athens with our two businesses. We work in conjunction with the mayor and the commission there, with the fire marshals, and with the local police department. So I have pretty good recommendations from all of those entities. If there's any questions that anyone has, I'd be happy to answer those. I do extensive training with my staff in every key department. We've actually even moved to a point where we have video training to make sure that everyone can understand exactly what we want from our businesses, because I'm only one man. So it's very difficult right now in our business in Athens. At count, we have I think we have 230 employees in our one business. Our one business that is our main flagship is just shy of 10,000 square feet. We mainly take care of about anywhere between 1,100 to 1,300 people on a night. And we matriculate roughly about 5,000 to 6,000 people throughout a night on just an average Friday, Saturday night. Our second business is not quite as large as that one. It's about 2,600 square feet. And we will matriculate probably 800 to 1,000 people in that business, but that business can only hold just a little bit more than 200 people at max capacity. So we definitely do with safe alcohol training. I train every single one of my bartenders. I actually train all of my managers to be able to do that as well. And we have key people in every department to be able to make sure that everything that we want in a proper, safe environment is taken care of. I even cook. I have to cook in our flagship because we do have a high volume kitchen. Everything that comes out of our kitchen is roughly 12 to 15 minute ticket times. So it makes it so that we can handle those large volumes and put the food out, and to be able to have a safe environment for our customers, so that if you're wanting to watch your game or have a good time, it's quick, it's easy, and you can get it done. So hopefully.
Real quick,
Yes, sir.
what's your flagship in Athens?
The flagship in Athens is named 1785 Bar and Grill. The 1785 denotes the year that the University of Georgia was chartered. Go Dogs.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone here to speak against the request? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any discussion by council? Seeing that there is,
I'm sorry, what will the capacity be at the new location in Statesboro?
Well, we're still gonna be, do you want me to come back to the mic?
yes,
As of right now, we've kind of paused some of our construction until we can get past this point today. It was an existing place, so we're still trying to figure out what number that is. I'll have to work with the fire marshal to figure out what that is. But just off of seeing what is usable and what is not the kitchen, we're looking at about 450 people max capacity currently, with what we can use at the moment. And there'll be future construction as well, so that we can maximize every bit of space of that. We'll also be using a lot of outside area as well. We've already fashioned an outside bar on the patio, so that we can have outside seating as well. So that is something that we like to innovate when we see a space that we think has potential, so,
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
yes,
all
ma'am.
right, any further questions from council? All right, seeing that there is none. All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll move down to agenda item 6, consideration of a motion to approve the reinstatement of the previously adopted Georgia Municipal Association 401A defined contribution retirement plan. If you, Mr. Penny, if you will.
Mayor, members of the council, annually, I believe this has been an annual requirement, we ask that you restate the defined benefits plan for our retirement adoptees plans. And the real reason for having to do this is our IRS requirement. And so we do recommend that you approve the items as outlined as a part of our retirement plan.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We move down to agenda item 7, consideration of a motion to enter into an intergovernmental agreement between the city of Statesboro and the Georgia Department of Human Services, Division of Family and Child Services relating to the low-income household water assistance program. Mr. Penny, if you'll give us a little insight.
Mayor and members of the council, most of us are probably familiar with what we call LIHEAP, which is a low-income heating program. But in this case, this is a program that will benefit people with, and assist them with their water and wastewater bills. And in this case, I believe we were approached actually by Action Pack, because they are actually administering these funds. And so for people that have difficulty with their water and sewer bill, I believe they can get up to as much as $300 to assist them with their bills. But in order for them to be able to take advantage of the program, we need your permission to approve the agreement so that we can act, so that our customers can participate. What I understand from Action Pack, they have a list of about 20 folks that are waiting for us to, for you to approve this agreement with, so that they can take advantage of the program. We do recommend, our staff has spent extensive time reviewing the agreement, and we do recommend to the city council that you approve our participation in the program.
Good, thank you, Mr. Penny. All right, any discussion by council?
Mr. Penny, is this still gonna be administered through Action Pack, or will it also be accessible from DFAX?
It's Action Pack that administers it.
The DFAX helps publicize it, so all their,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
folks they deal with are aware of it. Thank you.
Any further discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move down to agenda item 8, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2021-43, a resolution requesting approval to apply for assistance to firefighters grant for the city of Statesboro, Georgia. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, annually, we come to you for authorization to apply for the AFG grant. As long as they have it, we're gonna keep applying. And in this case, a couple of things. I think 2 years ago, we actually got a grant to have our physician, and so we're applying for additional funds to continue that relationship that we have, to have our physician on board. And then we have an opportunity to actually, some of the standards have changed for turnout gear, and so we can apply for funds to help buy some additional turnout gear. And then for the breathing, the air packs that we have to purchase. So we're applying for a little over $200,000, and we're requesting your authorization to be able to apply for the grant.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We move down to agenda item 9, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2021-44, a resolution authorizing the Statesboro Police Department to apply for a grant through the State of Georgia Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, again, this is an opportunity for us to apply for some grant funds for the police department. We currently have a shooting simulator. That simulator is operational, but technology changes all the time, and this grant would allow us to get an updated version, and so we do recommend that you authorize us to apply for those funds as well.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 10, consideration of a motion to award a contract to Insight Planning and Development LLC in the not to exceed amount of $550,000 to develop and administer a housing rehabilitation program for the city of Statesboro. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, at the last meeting, you approved the use of our ARPA funds. And as you remember, part of those ARPA funds, about $5 million will go for housing rehabilitation in our city. However, in order for us to be able to do that, we don't have staff with that experience. And so what we did a request for qualifications, and we received
proposals from across the country. We actually had one from Texas, one from North Carolina, and we had one locally. And what we recommend to you is, we recommend to you that you award a contract to Insight out of North Carolina. They have experience, and when you do qualifications, you don't necessarily base it on the price. However, they've given us a proposal to administer this program for $550,000, and that's for a 5 to 6 year program. So we recommend to you, based on their experience, based on the recommendation from staff and the recommendation that we received on the firm, to award the contract to Insight. As we talked about at the last meeting, the important thing is that there are a number of policies that need to be in place. And so they will bring with them that knowledge that will help us get our program up and running. Our goal is to have the housing rehabilitation program up and running by the end of the first quarter of 2022. So I have to say we're almost in 2022. And so they can hit the ground running in 2 weeks if you approve the contract today. We do recommend that you award the contract to Insight.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Peters. Any discussion from council? Have you worked
Councilman
with them
Boyd,
before?
sorry. He's raised.
I have worked with one of the principals who's older than me, but the company that I worked with, was a group called Holland and Associates, and Insight purchased Holland and Associates. So the backbones are still there from the group that I have experience with.
Councilman Boyd?
Yes, 550,000 is a significant chunk of our funds. Is that, is the lion's share of that money for setting up this program, or is most of that money for ongoing management?
Now, staff might have to help me with this. Kathy, you want to?
Yes, thank you. The contract, the proposal broke it down. Essentially, it was something like 35 to 40% for the setting up of the program, and then the remainder was for the implementation of the program. And this will be under a several year circumstance. It's not just for 1 year. We get the money, we have half the money right now, the next half we get next year, and we expect this will take at least 3.5 to 4 years to actually implement the whole program.
So that 550,000 is a 4-year contract?
It's for as long as we need to expend $5 million.
Okay,
But for your information, the ARPA funds need to be encumbered by December 2024 and then spent by 2025. To 2026, I'm sorry. So they give us a significant amount of time which to expend these funds. And we
Right.
will use this consulting firm for those, for that time necessary to expend the $5 million.
my reason for asking the question is if there's an ongoing fee, I wanted to know, so this is to expend the entire housing money, 550, it will not go past that?
Correct, it's a not to exceed
This is
amount.
a max contract?
Correct.
Okay,
It's a good deal.
Yeah, it's, as Mr. Penny says, it's a good deal.
well, I mean, again, approximately half of the money is to set up the program, which would then, will they leave that program with us in case, for
Yes.
whatever reason, they won't be available in 4 years for another similar program?
Absolutely, yes. Once
Okay.
we have the program in place, we will then carry on with it with our staff if need be.
I do think,
Well,
I don't know if Phil was through. Go ahead, Phil.
the only other question I was gonna ask was, is this group in any way gonna be involved with the code rewrites?
No.
Will they have anybody who sits in, who, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if we got these guys doing housing, doesn't it make sense to have similar codes? That way our codes match our operations.
Yeah,
I don't think we wanna mix the two.
yeah, I think that's two different buckets.
Because they're gonna be doing write-ups for the rehab.
Mhm.
Codes need to be completely separate.
Mhm.
We don't want
I
to.
realize that. I didn't ask about combining the two. I asked if someone from this group will consult during our code enforcement, since it would only make sense that if these guys are doing rehab, having the codes in place to prevent us from getting to that point. And anyway, I just was wondering if they're gonna consult at all in the code rewrite.
Okay, thank you.
I would simply say that we can't write that off, but that's not a part of this contract.
Yeah,
I do want to just share, and Ms. Barr, I hope you don't mind. Ms. Barr asked a question that I think is an important question for council.
Mhm.
This 550 would come out of that $5 million.
Mhm.
And so if it didn't come out of that $5 million, then we would need to find, the resources, from other sources to be able to cover that cost. But it's a reasonable expectation that the administration would come out of that $5 million.
I was reassured to hear that 11% of what we spend in over 5 years is not really out of range.
That's not.
Thank you.
that's a good question. All right, any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 11. Consideration of a motion to award a contract to Atlas Technical Consultant for soil remediation for the proposed city art park, in the, not to exceed amount of $29,950.
Yeah, staff might have to help me with this one too. We have an agreement with Norfolk Southern Corporation, a lease for the land, down off of Railroad Street. As everyone is aware, and I think even before I came here, that site was an eyesore, is an eyesore. And this is an effort to, one, make an entrance into our downtown a lot more appealing, to clean that area up and to do some hardscape. However, before we can do that, we have some mitigation that we need to do from some, Jason, what is it that we're?
Unsuitable salts.
Some unsuitable soil, is it lead?
It is.
That we need to remove.
Okay.
And so this agreement is for the remediation of that.
Okay.
We also have a very tight timeline. That work needs to be done by January the 11th.
Okay.
And so we do recommend this company to do the mitigation. Now, this doesn't end up with the nice look,
Yeah.
but it gets us.
Prepares us.
Prepares us so that we can move forward with the actual art park that we want in that area.
Okay.
So we do recommend it to you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Mr. Penn. All right, any discussion by council?
I'm all in favor of doing this, and thank the staff for helping make it happen. What's the January deadline? Was that from the agreement with the railroad or something?
From the state.
From the state? Thank you, Jason.
So part of our preliminary work, we did a soils analysis environmental study, and the environmental study found the contamination in the ground that we had to remediate. So part of the process, you have to report that to the state. So the state land branch is notified and then places a timeline on the railroad, because the railroad is the owner, because we're a leasee of the property, and the railroad passes that responsibility on us to meet the deadline established by the state.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you, Phil Boyle, for helping to move this project forward. I think the art space there is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
It's all on staff. Staff have been doing a great job, and negotiating with the railroad is quite possibly one of the most challenging things to do for municipalities.
Amen.
Really?
Amen.
All right. Is there a motion to approve, Councilman Boyd?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, with that, we'll move down to agenda item 12, consideration of a motion to approve award of contract to Georgia Power in the amount of $144,746, and authorize the mayor to execute contract documents for utility relocation associated with the South of Main Street Blue Mile Streetscape Improvements Project. Mr. King.
Mayor, members of the council, down on South Main Street, there's a lot of work that's going on, and utilities have been relocated, and the cost of relocation is quite a bit. And to this point, the city has not had to pay for the cost of relocation. If you go down and, the west side of the road, you'll see, utility lines have been moved back. However, on the east side is an opportunity to underground utilities. Georgia Power will not pay for the underground work, and that is our responsibility. And so this agreement for $144,000 will cover the cost of putting the utilities underground on the east side of South Main Street. We recommend approval of it. Overall, the relocation effort for utilities is probably in excess of $1 million, almost $1.5 million, and so we would participate in that cost of the tune of $144,000 to get it done.
Thank you, Mr. Penn. Okay. Councilman Boyd.
Just one quick question, Charles. How far will the burying go? I assume you're starting right around Nats Landing. How far north will it go?
My staff, come on, help me.
Can you clarify the question?
How far will the underground work go?
How much linear underground line are we doing?
So if you ride through the project now, currently you'll see there are several new utility relocations. It's just in like 2 or 3 key areas, like around the Waffle House, around Uncle Shook's at Bennett Street. It's primarily just in those areas. They'll have to relocate all that new infrastructure that they placed and then relocate that underground. So it's not the entire run on the east side, it's just that one area, those 2 areas rather.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, those are a lot of old poles and a lot of low-lying wires, so that's gonna be significant, and that's a decent price for that kind of work.
I agree. Those 2 or 3 areas on that east side of the road, those properties were served from the east side of the back side of those properties, from the Fair Road side of it, and not from South Main Street. So that's what's created the issues with utility relocation.
Is the west side gonna be underground as well?
No, ma'am. All the new poles you see on the west side are permanent.
Move to the back side.
Yeah, we moved them to the far back side of the right of way and elevated the height of the poles. So when the project is streetscape with trees, landscaping, light poles, all of your focus will be at eye level down the roadway, and so you won't notice those poles as much.
Okay, thank you.
This is an exciting project altogether. With that being said, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We move down to agenda item 13, consideration of a motion to award a contract to Pioneer Lines, Georgia Southern Railroad in the not to exceed amount of $104,500. Authorize the mayor to execute contract documents for railroad track rehabilitation associated with the Stillwell Street, South Zedariah Avenue intersection improvements project.
Mayor and council, y'all approved this Zedariah Stillwell project improvement. However, there's some rail line work that needs some work done around the rails. And we are in the process of negotiating the agreement. However, part of that negotiation is the railroad wants to know that who's gonna pay for it. And part of it is they're not gonna pay for it. And so what we're asking you for today is approval to pay for that work around the rail lines. And then we'll be further negotiating with them, and we're asking for authorization for the mayor to be able to sign that agreement once we complete make the final arrangements on that agreement. But today, we need your authorization to move forward with Pioneer Lines and Georgia Southern Railroad in the not-to-exceed amount of $104,500.
Okay. All right, any discussion by council?
Yeah, are the tracks torn up, or we're not fixing the tracks for them, are we?
No, we're not.
So the intersection improvements involves a wider turning radius for the log trucks going to the mill at Claw Howard. And so they have to extend the railroad tracks, and when they do that, extend the railroad grade crossing. And so when they do that, they'll replace the whole crossing and replace all of that by their contractors.
And we have to pay for that?
Yes.
All right. You say
Again,
so.
it's the railroad.
That's the real.
Gotcha.
They don't listen to God, so.
Yeah. Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's show that agenda item 13 is passed. We move down to other business from city council. Council members, is there any business that you would like to share? All right, seeing that there is none, the last time that we had the opportunity to get together, we were discussing package sales, and we discussed, creating an ad hoc committee. And we've had, several people inquire. To date, we have about 10 people that said that they wanted to be a part of it. And all 10 of those people will be a part of it. Their names are Todd McIntosh, owner of Board's Barbecue, Brian Harris, Director of Government Affairs with Georgia Southern University, Jim Thibodeau, Business Development Specialist with Core Credit Union, Cleve White with J.C. Lewis Ford, Lakedra Lee, with the Teal House, Raymond Scott, Transformation Statesboro, Doug Lambert, Development Authority of Bullock County, Charlotte Spell, Bullock Alcohol and Drug Council, Marlene Jesser Eller, local attorney, and Austin Stacy, regional representative for Congressman Allen's office. Those were the individuals that said they would be interested. And so those would be the individuals that would serve on the ad hoc committee. It is the goal for us to meet for the first time at 4 p.m. on next Tuesday. So Leah, we will need for you to reach out to those individuals and make sure that they have the information that's associated with the state ordinance that will be presented to council during the work session on the 21st, as well as those other ordinances that Kane shared with us at the last meeting. All right. The other thing that I would like to share in this space, we all recognize that this is Christmas, and we have some young people in our community that may not have a good Christmas, but we want to make sure that we do all we can to support that. If you came in through the front door this morning, you see that there's a large Christmas tree and with presents up under it. And what we're asking is that all of you that have the ability to give, please do. Please help make a child's Christmas special this year within our community. We'll be taking donations through the 15th of this month. You can just simply come through the front door. If you need to contact staff, they'll be more than happy to assist because we're trying to do everything we can to help our local kids. I will tell you that the McCullough family will be donating to help some of the children in the community, and I hope that the folks in this room and throughout the community that are able to help will do so. With that being said, that's all that I have. Is there anything else that needs to be shared? It's something that I want to say, but I don't know what Sherry, whether you have insight on it or not. Feed the Burrows, 500,000.
I saw that on Facebook, I
Yeah.
don't know anything else about it.
Okay, yeah, so as I understand it, it's the 500 box donation. So ladies and gentlemen, we have some really, really good-hearted people in this community that really work to make the lives of others better, and we want to give Feed the Barrel a big round of applause for the work that they've done. With that being said, if there's nothing else from council.
Hey, Mayor?
Yeah.
I was just gonna add that feeding the borough, it's important for us to find a home for the food bank. And so if folks have an idea, reach out to one of your council members, reach out to the mayor, and let us know, we're looking for a place, they need a new home, and we've been striking out a couple of times here, so we definitely need that. I did have one quick question for Charles, which was, do we have any more gift cards left, or are we done?
I'm gonna report on it. I'm gonna report on it.
Good. Thank you, Councilman.
All right, you gonna tell us right now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
All right, so we'll move forward to city manager's comments.
I'll start with Mr. Boyd's question. We have issued 368 gift cards.
That's good.
We don't have any left. This past Friday, First Friday, We actually vaccinated 46 people.
Wow, that's good.
27 of them were with gift cards. We actually ran out of gift cards, so we had to issue an IOU.
That's good, that's good.
And so, but we had 27 first or second time vaccination. We had 19 boosters that were given. So we have another event that's coming Saturday here at City Hall from 8:30 to 12:30. We will purchase 50 more gift cards, and we're also reaching out to Department of Public Health to see if we can do another one on the 18th, and that'll probably be the last one for this year. And then we'll have to see what we'll do. But so 368 gift cards. That's over almost $18,000, $18,500 that have been spent. And to purchase some more, so we're well over $20-some thousand for issuing gift cards in order to get people vaccinated. So we appreciate all your support, and I just have to say, the health department has been really great.
Yeah.
Core helped out, but the health department, when we asked them, they like to work with us, and usually they go places and no one shows up, but I'm telling you, when we opened up for the health department, and they know, folks know they're getting gift cards, we have people in line waiting to get their gift cards and their shots. So thank you for doing that. A couple other things I just wanted to call to your attention. In the FYI packet, the holiday luncheon for our employees that y'all are hosting on December 15th. Please mark that on your calendar. We're doing it in shifts. So this time it's going to be on Georgia Southern's campus. Get all our employees in so they can spread out and sit down and just take a moment and let us appreciate them. So Mayor and Council, thank you for your support on that. The other thing, it is so important for me just to share, and especially since we're on Facebook, I want to say this about our city employees. The city of Statesboro has been a part of United Way for a number of years. Last year, we contributed about $7,500. And this year, Leah Harden and Kathy Field were our chair and co-chair. And this year, we set a goal of $10,000. Our staff, our employees donated $20,250 to and so I just want to say publicly, thank you to city employees that made that pledge. So we collect the money over next year, and that's helpful to folks in our community, the different folks. The food bank is a recipient, Boys and Girls Club, all the different agencies that receive, we're supporting our community. And so we want to thank Leah and Kathy publicly, but we also want to thank our city employees. And Mayor and Council, thank y'all for your support, because sometimes we have to do some things to push folks, and so you're involved in that as well. And then just the last thing, as we are into the Christmas season, down at the fire department, the police department, we are to keep Statesboro beautiful. We are providing places for people to dispose of their boxes instead of putting their TV boxes on the street. So folks know you got a TV Christmas, you can take it down there and dispose of it, and we'll take it off for you. But thank you for everything, Mayor and Council.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. King.
Mr. Mayor, I've got one more thank you to staff about the Christmas dinner. I was very pleased to hear that y'all have arranged with the folks who are catering it, that we will have vegetarian and vegan options for those of us who make that choice. Thank you for doing that.
Good deal. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 16, which is public comments. Are there any public comments?
I just have a question. My name is Pam Hodges.
Man, you got to come up and
I just had a question as far as what is the next step? Once you meet with your committee, then what happens? When you come back in, is that when you're gonna vote on the next meeting?
Oh, no, ma'am. The next time that we'll have this on the agenda will be on the work session for the 21st. You're more than welcome to be a part, just sit down and listen to that conversation. But on the work session for the 21st, we're gonna be discussing the ordinance And what we know for a fact is that we're gonna have the state minimum, at that particular meeting. And then that'll give us the opportunity to kind of discuss pros, cons, things that we like, we don't like. And the purpose of the ad hoc committee is to kind of get some public input about what are some of the thought processes around this particular topic. And so hopefully we'll be able to garner some information from those folks, on the next Tuesday, 4 p.m. meeting. So you'll be more than welcome to be a part of that. That meeting will take place in here as well. So we definitely want to make sure that we get as much input and as much feedback as possible in regards to it. But anything that we're doing here, you're more than happy to be a part of it.
I was just wondering, I mean, I didn't know if the people that were on this committee, have any of them shown an interest in opening a liquor store?
No, not to my knowledge, no. Mm-mm.
Would you like to be on the committee?
Sure. I'd like to be part of the hearing,
Yeah,
whatever. I mean,
Okay.
but I can come and just listen also, it's fine.
yeah, whatever you like. I mean, it doesn't, if you would like to be a part of it, just to kind of hear the conversation, give some input, that's what the whole goal is to get feedback.
So then once you meet with them, then you'll have more community input.
Yeah, and these are just people that showed interest, and, again, we made that announcement here at the Statesboro Herald, via Al Hackle announced it, in the newspaper, and those are the individuals that reached out, to our city clerk and said that they would like to be a part of it, so.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, any further public comments? All right, seeing that there is none, we'll move down to.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I'm sorry I didn't catch the lady's name that came up, but
Ms. Hodges.
also on the 21st and then also in January, as we do the first and second readings of the ordinance, there will be public hearings. And so as we craft this legislation, not just the committee, but you'll be able to speak in a public city council meeting. And our first reading is on the 21st as well after the work session. So if you have any comments, you can send those to us individually, or you can publicly comment during the meetings.
Yeah, and I will say
It's a
that.
very transparent process.
Yeah, and the goal is for the first meeting to have the, first reading. That's if we're able to work through that work session and craft it to that point.
Right.
So that's what the goal is. So, we're ambitious, but we don't wanna say it's gonna be absolutely that. If council says we wanna do this and do that and tweak it. So, but that is what the goal is. Okay? All right, thank you, Councilman. With that being said, we'll move down to agenda item 17, which is consideration of a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel, real estate, and/or potential litigation in accordance with OCGA 50-14-13. Today's executive session will be in regards to real estate. All right. Chief.
Oh, we
Is
got
there a motion to take an executive session? Second. All those in favor? All right. Chief.